Hello everybody, welcome back to the channel. So within today's video, I do want to speak about three different things. Point number one, it is going to be about Kessie, a player that we have not talked about in a very long time. We're also going to be bringing out a brand new player for today, which is going to be Gvardiol. It's not Guardiola, Gvardiol, who is a Croatian center back, and we are going to be discussing in greater detail why this name is coming up. And then point number three, we're also going to be talking about Luis Enrique. Everything is going to be organized on the timeline down below. So if you do want to skip during certain parts and you just want to listen to the part of Luis Enrique or Gvardiol, you can. So again, everything is going to be organized on the timeline. If you also do want to support this channel, you can join the membership. You'll be having a lot of perks with that membership. So I hope you guys do enjoy it, and I hope you guys do enjoy this video, and welcome everybody. If you guys are new here, this is a Barcelona related channel where we talk about everything regarding Barcelona, and at the moment, yes, we are covering the World Cup. So again, welcome everybody. I hope you guys can join this family, and feel free to subscribe to this channel. So let's do this, right? And let's talk about Kessie, because it says here, according to Relevo, Napoli and Inter Milan want Kessie alongside many other Premier League clubs. The player does want to stay though. This has also been backed by Jared Romero. So why is this big news? It is big news because this is also believable. Why is this believable? We have to realize, and we know, and you know this is very clear. Many of us realize that Kessie has not found his definitive role in FC Barcelona at all, or at the very least, not all parties are satisfied with the way that Kessie has been implemented in Xavi's Barcelona. In the beginning, when the season was starting, we're like, okay, he's just going to be playing as a central defensive midfielder, maybe play in a pivot position, even though we were very well aware that he was coming from a double pivot system. But we were coming to a conclusion where we're like, okay, Kessie can just evolve his role and become a very important lone pivot. But that did not end up being the case. Xavi Hernandez has made it very clear that he wants to have Kessie play as a central midfielder and basically a interior midfielder to play right behind someone like Lewandowski or Ansu Fati or Dembele or Rafinha. And he has done well. Like, I'm not saying that this player has done bad and that there's a lot of questions regarding his technique and everything. Like, technically, he has also really improved as a player compared to like the Kessie that we saw with AC Milan. And he is a monster in the midfield. But here's the biggest problem. Even though we do say that Kessie has been very solid, right? He has been solid. The problem is, if you compare to what he brings on the field to what Pedri and Gavi and Frankie bring on the field, then we can say, okay, Pedri, Gavi, and Frankie are clear of Kessie when it comes to creating for the front three. And that's just how it is, right? Like with Frankie, Pedri, and Gavi, they are generational players that only come every 15 to 25 years. So we can see why Kessie will say, okay, this could be a good move. I could probably go to an Italian club or maybe a Premier League club by the end of this season. And imagine, right? Imagine Kessie joining Inter Milan, a team where he does consider it to be a rival team because he is coming from AC Milan. So to go from AC Milan to Barcelona and then to go to Inter Milan, who knows what the AC Milan fans are going to be thinking of him, and who knows how he does stand with other Italian clubs in general. I don't know what Kessie thinks about Juventus. I don't know what he thinks about Lazio or Napoli or any of these teams. Another big factor on Barcelona maybe wanting to sell this player, and Kessie saying, okay, this does make sense, it's best for all parties, would be if Pablo Torre evolves through this season and he has a great second half of the season and he becomes like a protagonist, right? He brings goals, he brings assists. That is going to be the point where many of us are going to be so clear about Kessie's future that he will no longer maybe continue with Barcelona moving forward after this season, and we're just going to be focusing on four different interiors, which is Pablo Torre, Gavi, Pedri, and Frankie de Jong. So now let's talk about Gvardiol, which is going to be the next phase of this video, because again, this is a player that we are talking about for the first time in this channel. So let me explain exactly who this player is. He is a left-footed, right? Left-footed center back, the exact same thing of Samuel Umtiti and Lenglet. So he's a left-footed center back who does play for Croatia and Leipzig. He is only 20 years old. So there's a lot to dig from here. And it says here, according to Sky Sports, that Barcelona are among the clubs highly interested in Gvardiol. And there is huge demand for this player. Barcelona is not the only team. There's a lot of teams that really do want to bring up this center back, and there's a huge reason for it, right? It's going to come down to two reasons. Point number one, because he's having a great season with RB Leipzig, and point number two, this World Cup campaign is basically his. Like, he has used this campaign within this World Cup to show that yes, he is a great center back. One of the reasons why Croatia, I'm not trying to take like any credit away from all of the other players from Croatia, because what they have done as a unit has been phenomenal, but one of the biggest factors on why Croatia is in the quarterfinals, well, it is because of this center back. It is because of Gvardiol's impact. And that game that he played against Belgium, which was in the group stages, it was huge for him. And that basically, I think that game alone basically put his value much higher in terms of the transfer fee. And that is why we sit here today knowing that Gvardiol is one of the most expensive center backs at the moment. So it's not going to be easy if Barcelona want to go full time for this player, but it is going to be worth the investment. And I remember there was this play, and I'm going to be showing you guys frames since I can't show you guys like a video, but it's basically showing that there was a cross coming from Belgium going into the box. Hazard receives the ball, lays a pass towards Lukaku, and then you can see that it's up to both of them. It's either Gvardiol or Lukaku to put the ball either by kicking it out or by putting the ball inside, right? Both of those two players had different agendas based off the play that was going on. Gvardiol, of course, had to kick the ball out, and he was the one to kick the ball out before Lukaku could even touch the ball. It was phenomenal defending. So everything that he has been showing, it shows that he is the future of what one of the top center backs are going to be looking like in the next 5-6 years. He is someone who is very technical. Chelsea is one of the teams that are following this player and heavily adding a lot of emphasis on this player. He's mature, he's disciplined, he's technical, he can dribble like if he was 5'6" or 5'5", like if he was Lionel Messi. He does not act like he's 6 feet. He can really dribble away from his defensive line and really add that numerical advantage going into the final third. He has shown that so many times. Like you can see that like in his highlights in this World Cup campaign. He has been phenomenal. And to see maybe potentially a back line of Koundé on the right back position with Ronald Araujo and Gvardiol as another center back with Alejandro Balde as the left back for the next season, that is a defensive line that will be rock solid. And then having other players that are defenders within our squad like Garcia, Christensen, maybe if they call up Serginho Dest and Arnau Martinez, if they can have those 4 backups as defenders and then having that back 4 starting for Xavi Hernandez, you're going to be having so many options. And of course, it will be able to compete at the highest level of football. And so now lastly, I do want to speak about Luis Enrique, because I kind of want to bring this topic up because I want to ask you guys this. Do you guys believe that Luis Enrique should continue as the coach of the Spanish national team? Because it said here, according to like multiple sources, that there are going to be meetings that will take place between Luis Enrique and the Spanish Federation to discuss the future of the coach in the national team. As far as the replacements are concerned, there is currently no consensus within the federation who should replace Luis Enrique. So talks have begun, but keep in mind, he's not the only one that is like discussing his future with the national team. Every time a World Cup cycle is over, usually they have the federation and they have the coach talk to each other, negotiate whether they should renew or not. There are a bunch of national teams that are restarting their cycle to prepare for the 2026 World Cup. Like for example, the USA. The US men's national team are currently talking with Berhalter to see if they want to continue with the exact same coach all the way until 2026. Same thing with Belgium. There is talks going on with Roberto Martinez on whether he should continue with the Belgium national team. So it's completely normal. And I want to make one thing very clear. When it comes to Spain and their World Cup campaign in this year, it was disappointing. It was disappointing to see Spain come out because of Morocco, and especially in the round of 16. But in the end, I strongly believe that this is the manager that they should be moving forward with, because I have seen so many players within this team that has improved. Like there's many, actually, let me rephrase. There are many players that actually perform way better with the national team compared to their club teams. For example, Jordi Alba plays better with the Spanish national team compared to FC Barcelona. Ferran Torres, Asensio, Olmo, Busquets, they play much better with Luis Enrique than they do with their respective clubs. And these are signs, my friends, that the coach is inspiring this team as a collective to become better. Maybe not the best in the world, but to become better. And that is the only thing you do need as a coach, and to prove to the federation that you should continue. So hopefully Luis Enrique does have a longer run and more time. Like I understand that he was the coach of this team since 2018. Maybe in a way, many could say that there is already enough time given to this coach, but there should be more time because he is only improving this team more and more. Even though they're not at that point where they could be considered as the top 3 national teams in the world, they're still improving at the end of the day. There are still players who are outperforming what they do with their clubs. So my prediction is going to be for the federation to say, yes, we're going to continue with Luis Enrique for another 4 years, and we'll see how things go. If things go really bad, like in the Euros, that will be happening in about 2 years, then yes, maybe the federation could be making a decision. But if they make it to the semifinals again, or maybe make it to the finals but they don't win it, that is still a very good route to go to. So let me know in the comment sections down below, what do you think about Luis Enrique and whether he should continue with this team, yes or no? And if not, who do you think should replace Luis Enrique? Because there is not a lot of options. So that will be wrapping up today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.